going on, everyone? This is Ecos Blacks here, and we're here for Premier Tier of PRL. Was called, well, I wouldn't say called up, volunteered to race, and we're here with the Williams, partnered up with Adri, the championship leader, heading into this race. And yeah, I mean, I'm feeling confident about this race. As you can see here, my Portugal helmet. But we're here for the first quali lap, which was the medium lap, and you know, I thought the medium soft strat for me would be pretty good, but yeah, I thought traffic was just gonna be a real pain, and you know, I felt the only real chance you're gonna have at a podium is you got to be up front. And but if people are stuck in DRS trains, it's gonna make it pretty much even harder for you to you know, get the podium. But you know, this track definitely offers a lot of strategy, because the medium soft strat is just so OP here, because really the tires just really, it's not even really the tires, you just don't lose time here, because I think this track has so much grip. You know, it's just so hard to lose a chunk of time. So yeah, but you know, we're coming here to finish the medium lap, as there is actually a lot of tier 1 and tier 2 reserves, because some premier drivers actually didn't show up for this race. So yeah, that's definitely going to change things a bit. But we go P10 here, second of the medium runners. As you can see, I thought that was a pretty good lap, but I also felt there was more left in it. As you see, a really good sector 1 for the mediums. Sector 2 it could have been better. I didn't think it was too bad off. It was pretty good, but I knew sector 1 was pretty much my strongest sector, because you know, this track you just can't save ERS at all. Well, sector 2 I felt was really my best sector, but you can't save ERS here at all. So pretty much when you use it all, when you use it, you got to be committed. And yeah, I'll let you see if I was committed or not through the race. But anyways, we're here for our second quali lap on the softs. As you can see, 6 minutes to go. So we're running a little thin here on time for a second run, but we should definitely have enough time for a second run. As you can see here, we are P12, but here a pretty decent sector 1. I think it was a 27.8 or no 22.8 or 21.8, something like that. I wasn't looking, but you see me here, I hit the yellow curb and I invalidate it. So I I take a cool down, recharge the ERS, and I have enough fuel for another push lap. So yeah, coming to the green now. This could hurt us though for that second run, because we're gonna have to make another lap around, and the tires are gonna just have a little bit extra wear on them. So coming through here, yeah, I just didn't feel like this was the best sector, but well, I felt it was a pretty good sector. I just felt it could have been a bit better. As you see, a purple sector 1. You know, I was flying through sector 1, but you see me there, I just lost some grip there trying to push it and gain time. And going up through here, yeah, it was an okay corner. It wasn't horrible, but I did have some twitches, I think, in the steering wheel, which cost me a little bit more time. And going through here, yeah, pretty decent corner. Sector 2 wasn't too bad. It could have been better, but it wasn't as bad as, you know, obviously the lap before, because we had to abandon the lap. But I'm looking at the time here, and I'm seeing that if I commit to this lap, I'm not going to get another lap in. So it's either I commit to this lap and hope it's good, or I box and hope that I can get an even better lap. So you see me here, I decide to box, and I felt like this was the right choice. I was on a bit older tires, and you know, these premier guys are obviously a bit better than me in about every category. You know, there's obviously some that feel like they're better than others in racecraft. I feel like I'm better than some of these guys in racecraft. Some feel like they're better than me, but you know, I think this is definitely a track where racecraft is going to be very high, about as big as Monaco. So yeah, you see here now though, on the lap, a little bit of traffic, and that it it kind of threw me off, and I overshot that turn. And yeah, I didn't really get through there good at all either. And you're gonna see we're about a little over 10th and a half down on our fastest sector one. So yeah, definitely wasn't too happy. I knew I lost a good 10th and a half in sector one, and you know, sector two though was actually pretty good. If I remember, I felt like it was a really good lap. As you can see, my teammate Adrian, the championship leader, he is P2 right now. Going through here, we set a purple sector 2. And now we just have to hit our marks here. Missing that curb a bit. You don't really want to hit that curb. You just want to get as close to it as you can. You want to go as far out, entering that corner, and you know, I mean, you can knock the curb. I don't really think it'll hurt you. As you see, my Red Bull teammate Jesse disqualified from the session, and coming to the line, it is going to be P6, 4 thousandths off Victor for P4. And I immediately thought that sector 1 screwed me. And you saw I was, I think, less than a tenth off Aiden. So that sector 1 really hurt me. And we would have been P3, I believe. I think if I saw that correctly, because my screen is a little small, but I believe we would have been P3 if I just got sector 1 right. So, yeah, but on the formation lap here, you just watch what happened to me. So the AI takes control. Yeah. The AI took control when I was warming up the tires. It hit the gas and spun out. So, yeah, I wasn't too happy about that, because I don't know. I think my teammate Adrian knew. I said, I think he heard me say, that just ruins my tires. And so, yeah, I wasn't too happy. But you can see here on the lap, we were getting dive bombed. And then going through here, we're going to get dive bombed again by, I think, a McLaren. So, yeah, and, you know, Red Bull teammate Kachal wasn't really too happy about that. I was expecting him to kind of just take it easy, but at the same time, I can't blame him. I mean, you got to make up all the positions you can on this first lap. So, and he gained 2. So, I mean, it works, it works. And you see me here, I'm trying to get by Cali Rob, because I do know Cali Rob's got some pretty good pace. And you see here, he is fighting, and then here I just decided to give it to him, because I know there's no point in fighting. And you see 2 people behind us battling as well. We can't lose the DRS. If we lose the DRS, we're basically just throwing away a podium. So I just decided to let him go, and probably though realistically, maybe I should have fought that a little harder, or at least fought that and tried to keep the spot. But I don't know. I think I did make the right decision here and just let him keep it. So you can see here though, there's a little bit of a separation between Kachal and Cali Rob from us battling, but I do think Cali Rob has to pace us. We're actually going to try and attack Cali Rob, but he does put on the ERS, and I see I'm not close enough, because this turn is pretty awkward. You at least need to be full on side by side or ahead, and I just decided just to give him the spot, because there's really no point in trying to do that. But the good thing is now we're pretty decently in the DRS if we can stay in it. And yes, we do stay in it. But you can see Cali Rob here, he's got some pace on him, because he could really pull me in the second sector, because I was having to push all I could to stay with him. And you should see going through here, yeah, that Cali Rob is now up on Kachal. He's actually going to attack Kachal, because Kachal had a mistake, and he's going to go around the outside, and now they're going to battle, because I think Cali Rob could kind of see that he definitely had a bit more pace than the 2 guys in front of him. And I felt even with Cali Rob, but I did think he was a bit faster than me in the second and third sector, as you see him hit the yellow curb there and just have to concede. But he's going to give it another go, because Kachal wasn't really quick enough to, it looks like, keep up with Victor. And you know, I think the DRS zones was really kind of keeping him in it. So Cali Rob is gonna take the spot here. As they're making contact, Cali Rob gets pushed off, but Kachal gives him the spot. And now I notice I need to get by him, because I think I did feel faster than Kachal, and I want to stay in the DRS of Cali Rob. And We get by Kachab, but we overshoot that turn. So now we're gonna have to use the ERS a bit here and try to stay in it. So yeah, hitting that curve pretty nicely. I think you can hit that curve, but just whatever you prefer. I kind of prefer to hit it. To be honest, I feel like it gives me more time. And now through here, I might as well just use the ERS every time I can, because once you get between 20%, unless it's raining, you're not getting it back. So yeah, we stay in the DRS, but sadly going through here, I make a mistake. I hit the curve and I had to turn out of it to keep the car from getting really oversteered. So now we're out of the DRS zone, and you can see the tires are starting to overheat, or not overheat, but wear out a bit. Well, they are overheating, but the left front I believe is overheating. But we are getting to a point where we're close to pit stops. As you can see, the Ferrari has absolutely checked out, and as he's coming across the line now, so he's basically set for the rest of the race. As you see, my teammate Adri pits. I was thinking about pitting that lap, but I had to keep going. As you know, the leader, he can go probably another 2 or 3 laps because of the gap that he's built. That's just the advantage of being that fast. But you can see the Victor and Kelly were out pit, so I knew I had to go into the pits, because I was actually planning to go another lap and then pit on lap 13 coming to 14, but I had to pit because I knew I was going to lose out to these guys. So I knew that was the best way to try and stay, or at least give myself a chance to stay in the DRS. But luckily we don't get held up by the Haas here, and now we're just going to have to see how close we are to these two, and we're not that far off. But luckily we also have traffic we're going to have to go through. As you see, Tambar in the Alpine just gets by Victor in the Aston, and yeah, Doug Trio is actually out of my DRS still with Fusion. So pretty nice. We're kind of set here, but I'm going to use the ERS because I don't want to lose time on this straight. So I use it, and we are back in DRS for a moment, but again, those guys just beat me on traction and pulled the gap a bit. But we do get it back because they are starting to battle a bit. So I use the ERS because I know I'm not the best through sector 2, but Dirty Air was just crazy this race, as you're going to see later on the lap. As you see, but Tambar is getting passed here by Victor, and you still have to think about the medium runners. I think you will see them in sector 2. Yeah, you see a Red Bull, that is Steinmine. He is the first runner on the medium tires. Cali Rob is trying to get by Tambar here. It doesn't look like Tambar doesn't look like he's going to put much of a fight. I mean, he's going to fight it, but there's really nothing he can do on those older tires. And now I knew I had to get by Tambar, but he has DRS. I'm out of battery. He's out of battery. But I'm going to decide to back out here and not make that move. Instead, try to set him up for the second DRS straight, because this is actually an overtaking zone. As he locks up, we hit the yellow curb, which does miss me up a bit, but I think the lockup kind of evened that out. So now we're going to put him under attack, and he's not going to go defensive, but he's not just going to let us by, as we will take the spot. But he's still fighting, so respect to him. Good racing, nothing wrong with him. As you see, T-Mike pits, and that means that when T-Mike pits, Statmine with a 3-second time penalty is now 4.4 seconds behind us on the soft tires, and he definitely should catch us by the end of the race with these mediums, because the softs are just absolutely OP here. They can go a very long way, and they also are really good for maybe 10 laps. They do overheat a bit, but they're still really good. As you see here though, Statmine has pretty much caught us. I don't think he got DRS, but he has pretty much caught us, and I was thinking, I'm just going to let him go. There's no point in challenging him, because he has a 3-second time penalty as I brake, and I moved over because I saw him trying to follow me, obviously to try and get the slipstream, but I knew there was no point in fighting him because he has a 3-second time penalty. Cali Rob has one too, so it just makes more sense for these guys to open things up for me a bit and try and see if I can get P4 out of this. But you see on this lap, Staten Mine is all over Victor, and this could cost us DRS if these guys start the battle. So going out of turn 1, Staten Mine is going to try to dive, and Victor overshoots it a bit. So now I'm going to take a wide entry, and Victor has to get out the gas. So I see this as an opportunity, and I'm going to decide to make a big lunge, but he just moves under braking. And yeah, I wasn't happy about that at all, because, you know, I hear a lot of people say moves are really never on, but that move was kind of on. I mean, it's not hard to really leave space and not move under braking. I mean, obviously, it's an accident. He doesn't mean to do that, but I think that move was definitely on if he didn't move under braking. As you see, 10 bar retired out of the race, and I let my teammate Jesse go. Mike or Doug Trios just, yeah, gonna push me off, which really doesn't matter. I have wing damage, so he's gonna push me or pass me anyway. But Victor did apologize for that. I said there's really nothing to apologize about. It's racing, and you know I'm a reserve, so I decided not to report him. It didn't really matter. I mean, it actually turns out it did matter, but as you see us fighting Fusion, you'll see later why it mattered. But Fusion gets by, and I just decided, you know what, Mike's gonna pass me. No point. Let's just let him by, and yeah, that was pretty much the end of our race as Checo Perez wins the race, and Mike actually got a penalty, but again, with the damage, there's just really nothing I can do to stay with these guys. So yeah, it's frustrating, as you're gonna even see. I kind of got more frustrated once I saw the results, because it kind of pains me looking back on it, but we crossed the line in P10. Just super frustrating for the pace that we had, and all of that could have been fixed with getting at P3 in qualifying, or at least P4. At first I thought it was P4, but I saw in looking back on this, it was actually P3. But yeah, regardless, we had really good pace, so I wasn't too upset with this race. I mean, I was upset, but again, that's racing. These things happen. But you'll see here, Cali Rob, P4, Victor finished on the podium. So, yeah, but that's it for me. See you guys later.